Hey guys, Rick at Healing Field Farm. My voice still isn't back 100%. It is seeming to get a little bit better though. Today, thought we would share how much we actually spent during the 100-day Homestead Challenge, and what everything cost for the most part. And we're probably off by a little bit because there's probably some things we forgot to add in, like screws or pair of hinges here or there, or something like that. But we kind of rounded everything up and configured how much we spent and made a list. So we're just going to go through the whole farm and tell you guys what it ended up costing us. So the trees, fruit trees, we put in 8 fruit trees. We still plan on getting a couple more. Those trees cost us $380 altogether. But the amount of food that they will provide over the course of these next years easily is going to compensate for that that initial cost. So, because we'll get fruit from them every single year. So, as long as they all survive, which they seem to be doing pretty good. So, all right, and then moving down here, the farm stand costs us just under $200 with the roof and lumber. And we'll probably add a few modifications to it, but it probably won't cost us more than another $50 altogether. So, but the initial farm stand cost just under $200. And then our raised cedar beds, they cost us about $20 each to make, so about $60 in these 3 beds. This one didn't cost me anything because it was repurposed wood from the barn. But yeah, these 3, about $20 a bed. And then in the garden itself, we spent $50 to rent the tiller, and then we got in $350 worth of compost delivered. But that didn't just go in the garden. It went into the garden beds. It went into the sunflower bed. Some went up into the hill with the pumpkins. Some are in the potato planters. So we got a lot of use out of that compost, and we still have some left. We probably spent about $50 in seeds altogether, and we had some already. And then for 6-packs and starting trays, we probably spent about $60 altogether between all the 6-packs, the starting trays, and we still have, all of them to reuse as well. So we spent about $30 in the berry bushes that we planted, and none of them took. But between the berries and the grape bushes, we did spend about $30, and we'll have to replace them. We did spend about $160 on plants for the garden after we had lost some in the greenhouse, and then there was some stuff that we couldn't find seeds for, and then we had to go pick some up. So we spent $25 on potatoes. Each one of our planters took about a 5-pound bag of seed potatoes. And then the strawberry planters cost us about $20 to make, and it was about another $25-30 in strawberry plants to fill them. So, and then the greenhouse area, we spent $100 on the greenhouse. I bought that before we did the Homestead Challenge over the winter and just stored it until spring. And then I did build the table, and the greenhouse table was about $20 to make between the wire and the lumber. The water barrel we had set up, the barrel cost us like $35. And then It was about another $30 in 4x4s and brackets to make the greenhouse a little more stable so that it wouldn't move as much in the wind. Obviously I still need to repair it. It's been a week, so we'll be working on that today actually. So that's it for the stuff down here in the garden. Now I did add in like just around $300 into what we spent, only because a lot of the stuff we, like lumber, some lumber we already had, some wire we already had, like the wire for the potato planters. We still had, you know, half a roll of that when we started. We still had some 2x3s from remodeling the house that we reused and stuff like that. So that's still stuff we bought. We just had it, you know, to use when we started. So, and that's, you know, the potato planters probably cost $4 or $5 each to make all together. So, all right, so we did spend about $120 on the patio area, between plants, because Sherry got some lilacs and some rhubarbs, and then the fire barrels in there. And we did get a load of cedar mulch. It is all pretty overgrown at the moment, but we'll get back in there and clean that out too. Next year we will be investing in a lot of weed cloth, and we'll be using a lot more down in the garden, plus in the patio area we'll redo that. So for the pens and posts, or the pens and the panels and the posts for all the animals, so we spent about $175 on posts. We spent $500 on all the pig panels, handy panels, 8-footers, and $10 on a gate. So, which we bought off the neighbor. So, but that's all the pens. You got the pig pen, you got the goat pen, you got the dog pen, and then we used a panel in the shed for the chickens and the goats when they were little. And then we have a panel in the barn currently, and I still have a couple extra. So, and we still have a few extra posts. So we didn't use them all, but that is what we spent, and what we bought, and we will obviously use them all. So, and then, so what did we spend on our animals? Altogether, we spent $1,230 on all the livestock here at the farm. We spent $250 on the pigs, $150 on the cows, $60 on all the rabbits, $650 on the goats, and $120 on all the chickens. So 8 of the chickens we got for, or the guinea hens we got for free, and you know, we did lose 2, but still that's not bad considering as many as we bought. We only lost 2, and that's all we've lost so far, thank goodness. And then the barn, I really only have about $100 into the barn, and it's really just in the beams and the bricks that are underneath it. So you know, the plywood stuff was extra scrap from the barn before we moved it. Pallet for the gate at the moment. The neighbor gave us a little bit of extra roofing, so that's in there. You know, the hay feeder we built, that was all scrap wood that we had also. So, you know, that didn't really cost much to make either. So yeah, I mean, obviously we'll be spending at least a couple hundred more, if not closer to 1,000, because we do have to wall it in and everything. But currently we've just spent about $100 on it, and just 4x4s and bricks, just to and nails, just to you know, get it back up and all that. So and then the pig shelter, that whole thing costs like $12. It's like $3 a pallet, $15. So and we had the roofing, so that worked out good. And then the chicken coop and chicken run. So the chicken coop cost me $250 to build, and the run cost about 150, well, about 100. And then, you know, we just use this netting, and we're going to replace all this netting with chicken wire because it is starting to tear. Some of the chickens are getting out, which we've been letting them free range most of the time anyways, but at the same time, we want them to stay in there when we want them to. So the pond didn't really cost me anything. You know, I hand dug it myself, so, and it's not quite a pond yet, so we're still working on it. I still need to get a lining and all that, but overall, that is all of the infrastructure and what we spent on or during the 100-day homestead challenge. And it's probably off a couple hundred. You know, there's probably things we forgot, like, you know, we had to run the store and get some hinges, or you know, I had to go get a can of spray foam here or there, and stuff like that. So from what we can figure, it cost us $4,717 to do the homestead challenge, to do all the pens, shelters, coops, the barn, the garden, the greenhouse, the farm stand, the apple trees, fruit trees. So I mean, it seems like a big investment, but that was over the course of 100 days. So a little more than 3 months. And you know, we could have gone a little slower, probably. Maybe not gutted so many animals as at once, but I think we're both happy with how it all turned out. But yeah, so I would say it's probably closer to the $5,000 total altogether. That's not counting our well. You know, our well wasn't part of the plan. Didn't really include it as part of the homestead as much as the infrastructure and everything that's going to provide food and stuff. So, but the well did cost about $3,400 to drill it, 160 feet. So, so if you add that, you know, you're over 8. But that wasn't really in the scheme of things, and I'm not really counting that. So overall, I'd say it's $5,000 well spent. I mean, we have a garden that'll provide this year. We have animals that'll provide next year. Chickens will be providing here any day now. You know, the farm stand will bring in some income. The next year, the goats will bring in milk. We'll have baby cow probably next year. We'll have some baby goats next year. We'll have pig in the freezer in the fall. We have a barn that's going to last years and years and years. These pens are all good and solid. You know, and we could have done it cheaper. You know, we could have just got an electric charger and just run strands of wire everywhere, but that's really not the way we wanted to go. We wanted something sturdy. We didn't want to be worrying about chasing animals all the time. And we wanted something, you know, kind of permanent. So, and that's why we went with the panels. And we could have done even the panels a little cheaper if we went with 16-footers, but to transport them here was kind of an issue with a 6-foot bed. So that's why we went with the 8s. But hello, babies. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. How's everybody doing? Oh, the cows have adjusted very well. Johnny had a little bald spot here, and his hair is just starting to come back now. So, yeah. So, chickens are doing good. The roosters are trying to breed the hens, and they don't appreciate it. But hopefully, the roosters will be going today. That is the plan. I just have to catch them. So, but yeah. So that's it for today. That's what we ended up spending on our 100-day homestead challenge. Just about $5,000 altogether. You know, and it's very doable. It really is. And you know, a lot of people might not spend $5,000 in a year building a homestead, but when you got to build all that infrastructure and everything, the shelters, that's where a lot of your money goes to. So, and these are all investments that we're not necessarily going to have to worry about now. That chicken coop's going to last for 20 years. The barn's going to be up for 20 years. You know, the pens might need some maintenance, but they're not going to go anywhere. You know, the garden, with the soil the way it was, that was the big investment this year. And with the animals to help now, we're not going to need to make that investment again. We're just going to need seeds and you know, start our plants and grow our own plants. So the soil problem will be solved very quickly and easily. So but overall, yeah, so that's it, guys. About $5,000 to build our homestead in 100 days, and you know, we're really happy with it, and we're still doing things and working in the garden and planting blueberries and all this other stuff. So it's still going to grow and grow and grow. So we will see you later in the week, and we'll get another video up for you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.